So we are previewing the Dolphins Cardinals game. But if you don't like unbiased opinions of Tua Tagovailoa and all you want is hate, this might not be the video for you. What is up, Finn fans? Tua is back. We're going to talk about that. Even during Thursday Night Football, which the Vikings got, talk about not calling a face mask when it's a face mask. They talked about Tua, and they talked about his practice, and they talked about a bunch of his practices and all that good stuff. So we are going to talk some Tua. I already have made 2 videos talking about him practicing. Will he make the team better? I can already tell some people who are like, man, Tua's not going to make anything better. Tua's the worst thing in the world. Enjoy being miserable. But we're going to talk Tua. We're going to talk all that other stuff. Obviously, going to injury report, going to the breakdown, going to the PFF, going to the 5 things. I'm going to give you my prediction of what I think is going to happen in this game, mixed in with what I hope is going to happen in this game. But let's jump into it. And we're going to start with something new, roster moves. Hopefully when I click on this, it looks like it. Nope, not necessarily. So uncut, you get to see the magic happen. I don't have to do much magic, but I have to do some magic. Yes, I did repost it, so I'll show that. Some magic, but the Dolphins made some roster moves. Signed quarterback CJ Beathard and wide receiver Tariq Black to the practice squad, and we have waived Hayden Rucci. Someone else is probably going to have to be waived or moved on from when Tua Tagovailoa becomes active off of the IR. Same thing with Sam Smith, and we will get into all that jazz. But bringing in CJ Beathard is a smart move. They wanted to do it apparently back in August, but Mike McDaniel said he wasn't healthy enough to do it, so they went with Tim Boyle. CJ Beathard has a very good understanding of this offense, being that he was with Mike McDaniel with the 49ers, and he probably would have helped us out tremendously with the games that we lost. You live and you learn, and you move on, and you don't think about it too much, even though I think about it all the time. And I look back and I'm like, we could have won those games if Tua just slid. But that is here nor there. Let's go into the injury report. We will start with the Cardinals. The Cardinals injury report is a little big. So Kevin Beachum went from limited to did not practice. Then you have Dennis Gardeck dealing with a knee injury. You have Roy Lopez dealing with an ankle injury. You have Sean Murphy Bunting dealing with a neck injury. And you have Darius Robinson, personal/calf. He didn't practice for 2 straight days. Now, out of those, Cardinals fans, if you're watching this, is any of those like, whoa, that sucks that he popped on there? Like, I'm assuming Kelvin Beachum, being probably one of your starting offensive linemen, isn't great for you there, dealing with a groin injury, and he popping up on the did not practice. And again, being that I put these videos out Friday, I will probably make another video giving you guys an update on the injuries maybe tomorrow going into the game. But outside of that, you had Max Melton with a neck injury. He was limited. You had Owen Popo with a hip. He was limited. Outside of that, Isaiah Adams and Christian Jones, your offensive linemen, are full participants. But this is interesting. A lot of, defensive players. And then you got Beachum popping up on there with the groin injury. That somewhat interesting. And then you look at the Miami Dolphins. Kaplow, it's long, might scare you a little bit, but it don't really scare me. Now, obviously, you see Tua Tagovailoa on there. He had concussion. He was limited, full participant. That man is going to come off of the IR. Obviously, Teron Armstead and Calais Campbell both had rest days. So in actuality, you kind of just take this. He goes, shoop. And that's kind of what your injury report looks like. Storm Duck, Tyler Huntley, and Cater Kohu did not practice for 2 straight days. Storm Duck dealing with an ankle, Cater Kohu dealing with a neck. This is where Cam Smith can hopefully possibly come in, and he might take over that slot corner nickel position from Cater Kohu, going up against the Cardinals wide receivers. Tyler Huntley dealing with that right shoulder. I wouldn't be surprised if he's put on IR, and then Tua Tagovailoa comes off of IR, and there's one of your spots opening up for that. Then we got to deal with who's gone for Cam Smith. Liam Eichenberg dealing with the shoulder. He was limited. Tyreek Hill popping up yesterday with a foot injury. He was limited. I don't see anything to really worry me about that. Javon Holland with the hand. He was limited, but he practiced and he's probably going to go for the game. Mayo Agba with the bicep. I haven't heard any setbacks or anything about that. Sealer popping up with an eye. He probably got something in his eye. If you don't see, here's the thing, right? A lot of people see these injury reports and they see limited and you're like, what are we going to do? If you look, I can't show you, but if you limited literally means bold indication change in status. And then here, I got a little like thing on the bottom that tells you, right? Did not participate, didn't participate in practice. Limited participation, less than 100% of a player's normal reps. So say Tyreek Hill does like 60 reps and he does 58 reps. He's limited, put him on the injury report. That's what they have to do per the NFL rules. Then out, doubtful, questionable, yada, yada. So obviously, and then full participant, 100% of the player's normal reps. So it's about the normal reps and yada, yada. So again, you look at these, you see Sealer, you see Tyreek, you see Jalen Waddle with a quad. Nothing to worry about. If they take 2 or 3 reps off and, try kind of take it easy, getting ready for the game, then they have to be listed as limited. So don't stress it too much. But let's talk about Tua Tagovailoa, his practice, and hearing some really good things. Now, this is from Albert Breer, and he was on Thursday Night Football. I think this was before the game or maybe after or halftime. And this is what he had to say about Tua Tagovailoa. I'm not going to show it because I don't want to get copyright claims. So you're just going to have to listen to it.
Welcome back, Albert Breer. So, Albert, Tua returned to the Dolphins practice field yesterday. What is the plan for him going forward?
Well, Carissa, it's really full steam ahead. Tua was a full participant in practice the last couple of days, and they've really missed his timing and anticipation in the passing game. It's led to wide open receivers not getting the ball quick enough. All the frustration from not hitting those plays over the last couple of weeks has melted away over the last couple of days. Tua maxed out all of his ability to meet and do things in the building while he was on IR. And then in practice the last couple of days, that timing and anticipation has come back. He was in the building at 5 a.m. On Wednesday. And earlier today at practice, he had a 40-yard throw downfield to Tyreek Hill where the coaches looked at each other and it was like, okay, we're back.
One will be happier that he's back than Tyreek Hill, that's for sure. All right,
So you hear that, right? Full steam ahead. And I've talked to you guys a lot about the anticipation, throwing guys open, the quick passes, all that stuff. And like Albert Breer even said, there's been so many games, Seattle, Tennessee, Colts, where there was open guys, would have been plays, would have been thrown that were made that weren't because the quarterbacks we had playing were not used to, or even though Skylar Thompson should be used to, not good enough in those situations. And the fact that Tua in there at 5 a.m. working with them and, getting the continuity and you hear what Tyreek Hill has to say and all that stuff, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel optimistic, but I'd rather be surprised than let down. So I'm kind of cautiously optimistic, but hearing these things about Tua is just great. Now go out there, light it up, bring this offense to what it used to be, and let's kind of get the ship back on track. Win 4 of the next 5 and you'll feel good because we're sitting right now at 2-4. You win 4 of the next 5. You're at 6-5 going into the hard stretch of 6 games. You can win at least 4 of the next 6. You're at 10 wins. You're in the playoffs. Also, you win 4, we'll talk about the trade deadline because that's a horse of a different color for another time and all that stuff. But let's get into the breakdown. Breaking it down. Break it down. We'll start with the Miami Dolphins defense versus the Arizona Cardinals offense. So as you see here, the Miami Dolphins have the 4th total defense. They are number 1 in passing. They are 17th in rush. Again, a lot of people are like, oh, their rush defense sucks. I've said this time and time again. It's middle of the pack. And if you watched last week, it was just a lot of Richardson running on us because he couldn't throw on us. So they just had him running and running. So it looked like, hey, they gave up a lot of yards. It's quarterback draws. Scoring defense, we were 14th. That's not bad. Sacks, that needs to change. We are 30th in sacks. That is hot garbage. Hot garbage. That needs to change, and I'm going to talk about that. Third down defense, number 1, and takeaways 26. That also needs to change. They need to go and get that flipping ball. We are facing the 15th offense. Passing offense is 25th. Not a great passing offense. So again, you have a 25th passing offense facing a number 1 passing defense. You're going to run the ball, which they are 5th in. James Cook, really good running back for them, and they also have Kyler Murray. Scoring offense is 19th. They don't score a lot of points. That bodes well for us, who's 14th in scoring defense. Sacks allowed is 5th with 11 sacks. Again, please. Third down offense is 16th. Middle of the pack in the giveaways are 17th with 9. Then when we flip it around, which hopefully this changes, you have the Dolphins offense taking on their defense. Dolphins offense is 22nd overall. Hopefully, again, that changes. A lot of these numbers are because for the past 4 weeks, we didn't have Tua Tagovailoa at quarterback. Passing offense is 22nd. Our rushing offense is 11th. Hello. Scoring offense is 32nd. Putrid. Sacks allowed is 20th. Not too bad. Unless that's a good thing. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think that's a bad thing. Third down offense, 27th. Garbage. Giveaways, 12th. Not too bad. We are facing a defense that is 27th ranked. We went from facing the 30th ranked defense to the 27th ranked defense, and now our quarterback is back. You see where I'm getting at right now? Pass defense is 26, and their rush defense is 26. We got Tua back. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle should feast. Also, Raheem Mostert and Jalen Wright and Devon Achane. You're facing a bad defense. Just stay on the field. Just turn that clock up. I'm getting ahead of myself. I have a list. Scoring defense is 24th. Hello. Sacks 21st. Hello. Third down defense 32nd. Hello. Takeaways 10th. Hello. This is the perfect game for Tua to come back. You're facing a very bad defense. It's like perfect. Like, you're coming back. Last time he got injured, he came back and faced the Steelers, which is good defense. Now he's coming back and facing a very bad Cardinals defense, who has to go from the West Coast to the East Coast and play at 1 o'clock. So for them, they're not playing at 1 o'clock. They're playing at 10 o'clock. Hello. Let's get into one of my favorite segments of the day. PFFF, ba-bom. Some of you guys say you sing it with me, which I appreciate. Maybe I should make a theme song. Hey, if you guys are good at doing that stuff, do it up. So you see the Miami Dolphins offense. Hey, look at that. Aaron Brewer's 8th total center. He's actually been doing much better than I expected. You got Armstead and Brewer doing fantastic. Everyone else is... Austin Jackson is up and down when it comes to his blocking. But again, Jones and Eichenberg scare the crap out of me. If we can make a move during the trade deadline, it would be to at least get a right guard, because I think Armstead can definitely help with the left guard situation. But having a right guard would be substantially better, being that that's to his blind side. Jonnu Smith, boop, that number went up. He's now 16th tight end. We utilized the crap out of him last week, and it worked out wonderfully. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle being low, that's because, hey, they haven't gotten targets. Keon Washington, being that Braxton Berrios is not on IR. That is a beautiful sight to see, but also I want to see Odell get in there. You have Tua Tagovailoa, 22nd. He's still the 22nd ranked quarterback, and he didn't play 4 weeks. Hilarious. And Devon Achane, but also Raheem Mostert and Jalen Wright. And then you look at their defense. It ain't good. They run a 3-4, as you can see here. I don't know if their corners can really match up with Hill and Waddle. Again, take advantage of it. I don't know about their interior. Collins is a good rusher. Akwari, Baker, Buda Baker is going to be a guy that we're just going to run away from and throw passes away from him. Very good, but their defense is not good, and that's not me trying to crap on you Cardinals fans, because I'm pretty sure you guys know it as well. Your just defense isn't good, but where you are doing well is your offense. And as we flip it over here, you got a decent offensive line. Johnson Jr. is the 11th ranked tackle. Froholt is the 11th best center. Hey, Kyler Murray is doing really great. 9th corner. Beachum, is he playing or not? Again, he popped up on the injury list. And then you got your wide receivers. Harrison Jr. is a guy who my man, we're going to stay on him, my man. Cater's probably not going to play, which means we're going to get Sean Smith here, or maybe Ethan Bonner will go here, who I like Ethan Bonner a little bit. These guys don't scare me as much, maybe as they should. He scares me. Also, my man Brooks, you are going to stay on him just the whole time. And Connor, 8th best running back. I will talk more about him. And then you have the Dolphins defense here. These guys are so good in the middle, especially Calais Campbell. Robinson, you got to step up, my man. You're just not doing anything. I'd keep May in there. I put Javon Holland here. Poyer's just been a liability. Ramsey, a lot of people say he's old. He's mid, this and that. Ramsey is the bright spot of our defense. Same with the interior. We need something out of these two guys, or Ogbar, or go out and get somebody. I don't know, man, but we need something. We need something in this pass rush. But again, you're facing good offense, and in that terms, you got to flip it around and you got to stay on your own offense. You know what I'm saying? So let's go into the 5 things that the Miami Dolphins have to do if they want to beat this Arizona Cardinals team, who aren't slouches. They're a pretty good team. Like, they're a team that, have a winning record. So maybe we could put that stigma to sleep, because pretty sure they have a winning record. No, 3-4. They still aren't that bad. One game under 500, but so I'm going to 5 things. Is it from most important to least important? No, I would say all 5 of these are important. I might have even missed some that are important, but let's jump into this before I ramble too much. Number 1 thing on my list. Do you know what it is? Because I know what it is. I'm pretty sure you know what it is. Run the flicking ball. Run the ball. I'm not gonna do what I did last time. Just constantly be like, run the ball. We ran the ball like 38 times. There's like 2 quarterback draws or 3 quarterback draws, so it was a good amount. Unfortunately, we had the 2 fumbles that really kind of killed us in critical situations, but he did stick with the run. The run was working. It was nice to see, but also you running the ball, it doesn't put a lot on Tua to come back, right? Tua can feast off the run. Tua is that guy that will feast off the run, because if he puts, I'm a lefty. I'm like, is he a lefty? He puts his hand out and he sees that corner come in, or he sees that safety come down, he's going to keep that sucker. So he'd go this way. He's going to keep that sucker. Like, he is quick with that. So the run game will help tremendously to make those safeties play down in the box, to open things up over the top, because he will get the ball there. That is the biggest difference now. That is just something that is going to help us tremendously, as now we have the quarterback back that will get the ball there, that will get the passes out, that will thread the needle, that get to the people we need to. So run the ball. Eat the clock up. I want time of possession to be like, 60 minutes? I want them to have the ball for like 20 minutes. Is it possible? I don't know, but hey, we're playing home 1 o'clock. It's still going to be hot there. I don't care that it's October. Run the ball. Number 2 on my list. Contain Kyler Murray. Have him beat you with his arm. Now, can he beat you with his arm? Of course he can. But also, again, no offense to Kyler. Don't take this offensive. I mean no harm in this. He's a short man. And Sealer and Calais Campbell are huge human beings, especially Calais Campbell, who will be able to get his hands up. You contain Kyler Murray in the pocket. Don't let him run around like the Mighty Mouse he is, and have him beat you with his arm. He's just going to have to chuck it up and pray, and that's when turnovers happen. And that's something that we need to do, is start to get those turnovers. So you need to contain that man. Don't let him run all over you. That's what happened with Richardson last week, where all of a sudden he wasn't able to throw the ball on us. So they were like, screw it. Design quarterback runs. He's like a 6'4", whatever quarterback runs. Well, Kyler Murray isn't that style of quarterback in the size of his body, but he's fast. So contain him, because he ain't running through you. Contain that man. Incredibly important. Number 3. Gotta get some sacks, for the love of everything holy. And this is where I have some stats for this, because we're 30th in the NFL in sacks. We have 9 sacks on the season. Now, Chop Robinson, I get you're a rookie, and I always give rookies a little bit of time. I talk about Jason Taylor. It took him like, I think, 1.5 years to really start to get acclimated and get some sacks, but I need to see more of the Chop. I think at this point in the season, Jalen Phillips already had like 2.5 to 3 sacks. He had 8.5 sacks on his rookie year. I need to see more out of Chop. I need to see more out of Agba. I need to see more out of all of these guys. Yeah, we're facing, the Cardinals don't have a bad offensive line, but I need to see more. And the reason I'm saying this is, this defensive line is 13th in pressure percentage. They are 8th in quarterback knockdown percentage. They are 12th in hurry percentage. So they are in the top 15 at getting pressure on the quarterbacks. They are top 10 at knocking the quarterbacks down, and they are top 12 at getting hurries on the quarterback, but they are 30th in the NFL in sacks. So they get there, they just can't finish. They need to finish. We need to get Kyler Murray on the ground. Again, it goes back to number 2, which is, again, boys and girls, contain Kyler Murray. Number 4 on my list, if you're containing him, you got to stop the run. We are going against James Conner, who is 6th in the NFL in rushing with 504 yards. He's the number 1 running back in the NFL with broken tackles, and he's the number 2 running back in the NFL in getting first downs. They need to be focusing on stopping. Yeah, sure. Stopping the run. I wanted to say shut down, stopping. They got to stop the run. It goes back to containing Kyler Murray and making him beat you with his arm. If James Conner is able to just run all over us, then that is a huge problem, and then they eat the clock up. You need to stop the run. You need to force them to go into a one-dimensional offense so that our pass rush can pin their ears back and get after them. Point blank and simple. And the last thing on my list, and I haven't said this one in a hot minute, but I got to, no mistakes. We could have beat the Colts. We very easily could have beat the Colts and been 3-3 right now. Very, very easily, if not for the 2 fumbles, mostly the Ingold fumble that really hurt us being on the 13-yard line, and the missed field goal from Sanders. Like, those are points off the board. We lost by 6, and bare minimum, Sanders makes that field goal, and we don't fumble and kick a field goal. It's still a tied game, even with them kicking those 2 field goals, and it also would force them to be in a different type of offense, knowing that, hey, we're down by 6. We can't just try to do this and that. So, just no mistakes, play calling wise, timeout wise, interceptions, turnovers, penalties. The Dolphins are 8th in the NFL in penalties with 60 penalties. Now, those are accepted and unaccepted penalties. I don't know where they're at with accepted penalties, but 8th, top 10 in the NFL with penalties with 60 of them. You're home. The crowd is on your side. Use them. Use the motions. Use all of that stuff. No mistakes. That being said, let me tell you who I think and hope and pray is going to win, if you can already tell. Tua is back. Do I expect Tua to come out and throw for 300, 400 yards and this, and that? No. Again, it goes back to number 1 on my list, which is run the ball, because you don't want to put it all on Tua. But if we can have, for once this season, a game where the offense and the defense kind of complement each other, how for all season I've been saying the defense, complementary football, yada yada. If we can finally have that game where the defense is forcing 3 and outs, and every 3 and out that they force, we score points, whether it's a field goal or touchdown, we will dominate this game. If we can get an iota of the offense that we had the first 8 games of last year, we will dominate this game if that could happen. Like, just plain and simple. If Tua just doesn't make the mistakes, he gets the ball in there, we run the ball on them, we eat the clock up, we have long, sustainable drives, the defense stays healthy, they go out there, they do their job, and we show, hey, we were just missing our quarterback, and now we're kind of back in the groove, because we got a huge game after this against Buffalo in Buffalo. We ain't winning that. I'll be shocked. If we win that, then we're back. We're back, and I'm not afraid of anyone on the rest of the schedule. But we ain't winning that. So, and I just watched the Rams beat the Vikings, so that's going to be a hard one to play the week after that, but I'm getting ahead of myself. This is a game that you're facing a very bad defense again. We now have our quarterback back. He may be a little rusty, but that's no excuse, especially because he's been throwing and he's been working with Odell for weeks now. Take advantage of this. Take advantage of the poor defensive line. Take advantage of the poor corners having to face our all-star receivers. Take advantage of all of this. Long, sustainable drives. You're home. You are home. Take advantage of that. It is 1 o'clock. I don't even know what the weather is going to be. I'm going to look it up as I'm talking to you, but just take advantage of this. Have Tua just play. He doesn't need to play hero ball like he does, which hurts us. Just play smart football. It is going to be 81 degrees on Sunday, and the humidity is going to be 60%. So moderate. It's going to feel like 83. But again, when you're sitting in that sun on that side of the field, it's going to feel like 93. Take advantage of this. I have the Dolphins winning this one 28-20. I don't think the defense is going to completely be able to shut down Arizona. I think they will score some points because, again, Kyler Murray is Kyler Murray, and he's probably going to use his legs, and James Conner's a good running back. They beat the 49ers. The 49ers are a good team, have great defense. But I'm hoping and praying Tua back. We start throwing the ball. We start making plays. We start keeping time of possession. We come out and win this game. If not, it's going to be bad. And you're like, what do you mean it's going to be bad? Patrons, I put a video up. Go check it out. Gave you some inside information. It's going to be bad. But I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll give you an update on the injuries, and then I'll see you guys definitely 1 o'clock on Sunday. Miami Dolphins hosting the Arizona Cardinals. But like usual, stay classy. Evans up.